Hey guys, it's Sarah and I'm going to be working on my mini album today for the Victoria Mary Scrapbook Retreat, and I'm going to be doing quite a few layouts in this one, so this one's going to be a little bit longer than the first two were, but I had a bigger chunk of time this morning to sit and work on it, so I got I think 3 or 4 spreads done, so that was pretty good. All right, so I have all my pictures printed. I went through over this past weekend and just printed all my pictures and made sure I had them ready. So I'm just kind of going in order. And as I was looking through my kit, I realized there were a couple of things that I forgot to add to some pictures that I have already done. So I'm just going to add a couple things here in just a second. And I forgot that I had this little scrapbooker on board sticker that I wanted to use. So I'm going to take that out and stick that onto my car picture here. So that's a picture of my trunk and all the supplies that I had taken with me. So it's kind of a big awkward diamond sticker, so I'm just going to stick it right here. And then I also have a car wood veneer. Since I drove to the retreat, I wanted to go ahead and use that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and add that to this card here that says Ready, Set, Go. And I'm just going to add it right here next to this coffee cup. And I've had a couple people ask where I got that coffee cup stamp that I used on this one. You can see me use it in part 2 if you haven't seen that yet, but I got that from Stampin' Up. So if you know a Stampin' Up representative, you can probably ask them if they still have it. All right, so now I'm going to be working on this here, and this is kind of the first day that I got there, and I was kind of looking around the house and doing all that stuff, and they had these chickens on their property that just ran around. They were free-range chickens, so they were just kind of all over the place, and I was kind of obsessed with them. They were so cool. They were just walking around, and so I took a few pictures of them. So I have this one here of a chicken that is sitting on top of one of the benches outside. So I snapped a picture of it sitting there. And I have this paper that is from an old Studio Calico kit. I'm not sure which one, but I feel like the pattern on that navy paper looks like chicken feet, like if a chicken left a footprint. So I saved that little scrap piece to use in this album specifically for that. And I went ahead and added my picture just right next to that scrap of paper to make a full 4x6 on the bottom. And then I have a few things I'm going to put at the top in these 3x4 pockets up here. And I just kind of set them there so I don't forget what I'm going to do. And so for this down here, I'm not going to do any journaling. I'm just going to write chickens with these chickenity alphabet stickers. I only had one C, so I'm going to take a G and make it into a C, just kind of cut off the little extra pieces. It's not going to be exactly like the C, but it's good enough. So I'm just cutting off a couple little spots there to make it a C. And I like how this yellow is a good contrast for the navy blue. All right, and then I'm going to use this navy blue puffy heart from Twine and Ink as well, just right next to the word. And then that's all I'm going to do for that one. I don't want to cover up all that pattern paper since I had a purpose for it. Okay, so up here at the top, I am going to circle the dates that I went, and I just had to look up the dates on my phone because I didn't remember the exact dates, but it was the 20th through the 23rd of October of last year. And I am going to go ahead and stick that little calendar piece down on a 3x4 card and stick it in. And then I'm just now realizing I didn't put the year up there at all, so I may go back and do that. So I just stuck that on there, and I think those little calendar things are from Jenny Bolin, I believe. And now I have this little picture that I cut out from the brochure that I had taken from the retreat place, and it had a little picture of all the rooms, and so I cut out the picture of the room that I personally slept in, and it was the Santa Fe room, and so I'm going to include that here. So I'm going to cut down one of these pieces of paper from this Creative Agenda 6x6 pattern paper pad here, and I'm going to just cut it down to a 3x4, and then I'm going to use a couple of these little scraps that were from other spreads, and I'm just going to layer them up along with this little picture here. So I'll go ahead and stick the picture down now. And then I want to write on here the name of the room because each room had a different name and it was kind of a different destination place, I guess you could say. So ours was Santa Fe, so it was supposed to be kind of like a New Mexican retreat, which is kind of funny since I live in New Mexico. They also had a Paris one and an Italy one and a nautical one, so they were really cute rooms. And I'm going to use these LE Studio alphabet stickers to spell out Santa Fe, and I'm mixing up the uppercase and lowercase just based on what I have. I'm not really stressing out too much about that. So I'm going to put Santa Fe at the top and then room along the bottom. And I shared that room with 3 other girls. It was fun. Of course, when we were in the rooms, we weren't talking, we were sleeping because we were so tired. That room was sleeping only, believe me. All right, and I want to add one little extra thing at the top here. So I have this little thing that has like a Dominion Hotel, I think is what it says on it. I don't have any other need for anything like that, so I just figured I would put it here, the colors go. And then I also have this blue striped banner that I'm going to put there, and then a little heart sticker from the sticker sheet as well. And those are from Amy Tangerine. So I'm going to go ahead and stick that in there. And then I'm going to work on the back. So the back is going to be kind of about creating when we're, actually in the room and scrapping. So the retreat place had, all the bedrooms and stuff where people slept, and then there was a nice kitchen and a dining area, and then they have an actual crop room where they have all these tables set up, and everyone had their own space, and we all had our own personal tables, and it was really, really nice. So I have a picture of myself there that I think Angie took this picture for me, but I had these little flowers, and I have those flowers right there in that little baggie. Those were the actual ones I was working with at the retreat, and some of them got stuck on my arm, and I was working with them and I couldn't find them for some reason. I was like, where are those flowers? I know I picked up some flowers, and they were stuck on my arm because I had put them down. I put my arm down on the table on top of them. They stuck to my arm, so she ran over and took a picture because I was like, what in the world is going on? And it was so funny. So I put a little sticker down there from Studio Calico and then wrote occupational hazard, and then I did my quote of where, I think it was where are those flowers, because that's what I was saying. And so I went ahead and stuck a few of those flowers onto that pattern paper, so you can see them in the picture, and then you can see the actual flowers right next to it. And then up at the top, I have a 3x4 picture of Victoria, and she's holding up a layout that she had made. And on the side here, I'm going to cut down a 3x4 card and then use these, I don't know who made those. I want to say maybe Studio Calico, those little letters that are on my desk right here. And I'm going to put her initials on there, and then I'm going to do some journaling. And so I'm just looking for something that can be, that everything can stand out on, that I can use. And I like this little red and cream polka dot card here, so that's what I'm going to use. And that also helps bring out the red and the flowers that are underneath there. So I'm going to put a little piece of pink glitter washi tape along the bottom as well to kind of house the letters there so they don't kind of look like they're randomly floating. So I'm just going to put this along the bottom. And then I'm going to run these letters through my Xyron because they are transparent. So I'm just going to stick those through and make it all sticky on the back. And then that way I can put them down just like stickers. So I have a V and an M for Victoria Marie. And the funny thing about that picture is that Victoria is probably the one who made the least amount of actual projects at the retreat because she was the host, so she spent a lot of time, making sure everyone else was okay and talking to the owners and making sure, we were doing the right things and all that. So she was really making sure everyone was taken care of. So she didn't make quite as much as everyone else did, but when she did make something, it was like a formal announcement. And so that's what that picture is. She's holding up her layout and she made a formal announcement that she had actually completed a layout. I think that was her first one. So it was just really funny. She was very proud when she actually got something done. So That's what I'm journaling about right there. And then I have that rubber sticker that says Just Start at the top there as well. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and stick everything in, and I like the way that that looks. So I'm gonna move on to the next one. And the next one is going to be about our lunch that we went out to. The venue took care of most of our food, but there was one day, I think it was Friday, where lunch was not covered. So we had the option to either like order something and have it delivered, or we could actually go out into town and go and eat somewhere. So we decided to go out into town. Most of us went. I think there were maybe 3 or 4 people that didn't go. They decided to stay at the place and just kind of eat some snacks instead. But we decided to go and check out this place that we had heard a lot about. And so that is what I'm going to talk about here. So I'm going to use these 2 4x6 page protector here to start out with. And I am going to start out by putting these 2 along the back, and these were actually pictures of the bathroom because the bathroom doors were really cool. They had like Star Wars characters on them, and then there was a funny little quote that was etched into the bathroom mirror, and it said, employees must wash hands. You should too, but I'm not your mother. So I thought that was pretty funny. So I took a picture of it. And then we have a group shot of us down at the bottom, and then a picture of my plate of food up at the top. So I took the business card from the restaurant and I cut the logo out from using one of my circle punches. I think I used a 2-inch punch for that. Then I'm using a 3-inch punch to cut out this little pie chart from this piece of paper from the Creative Agenda paper pad, and I'm going to use that to kind of layer back behind this. So it just adds a little bit more color to it and a little bit more weight. And now I'm looking for a piece of paper to put behind it as a 4x6, and I'm going to go ahead and use this pink. So I'm going to cut that down to a 4x6, stick my picture right there, and then put the business card on top of this little pie chart, and then stick that down. And then I will do my journaling underneath that. All right, so I'll put that in there. And then I'm going to do a little bit on the bottom picture here as well. I'm going to just add a couple little stickers up here in the upper left-hand corner. I am going to cut a little piece of that pink paper down just to make a little strip. And I'm going to put that down there, and then I'm going to also put this little sticker that says party, and then I will use the number 9 from that LA Studio sticker sheet because there were 9 of us that went. And then that's going to be it for that one. And as you can see, there's the bathroom pictures. They're pretty good. I don't really need to add anything to those, so I'm just going to let that be. And now I'm going to work on these photo booth strip pictures. There was a photo booth at the restaurant, and so of course we all had to take turns getting in there. And so I ended up getting in with Heidi and Lori. And it was really funny because we had no idea when the thing was about to take a picture, or we didn't know when the countdown was. It was so confusing. So most of ours, like Heidi's talking in it and going, when is it going to take it? And then it took it, and it was just really funny. But they came out great. So I found this orange piece of paper here that has a whole bunch of speech bubbles, and some of them are kind of clicky, like say cheese and LOL and all that stuff. So I really like the way that looks. I also have this Project Life card that is a quote from Abraham Lincoln, and it says, "There are no bad pictures, that's just how your face looks sometimes." And the background is a very light orange grid, so this orange paper is going to bring that out really nicely. It complements it really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and do a full 6x8 layout here. I didn't want to cut up the photos at all. And then I have this little strip piece from the Daily Flash paper pad there, so I just cut down a strip, and I'm going to use that here as well. And I used some wild honey distress ink to put along the edges of both the piece of paper there and the project life card to help it stand out against the very, very busy background there. So I got that, got the pictures. I'm going to stick this behind it here. They're all kind of a little bit angled. And then I'm going to use my alphabet stickers here to make a title, and it's just going to say photo booth. And I do have to MacGyver a few letters here because I don't have as many O's as I need and I don't have any T's, but I'm going to make it work. So I have the H there, and then for the T's, I'm going to take an F and cut out the center piece of it and then just add that little center piece over on the side, and it looks like a T. You have to look really, really closely to realize that I had cut it, so I think it's going to work out fine. And then for the O's, I'm going to just cut off the little parts of the Q's here. And it turns into photo booth. So I got that. I did have one O there. I'm going to do this F here with the T, and of course I cut it off and then it went flying, so I had to go find it. No clue where it was. It ended up being in my trash can, but I fished it out. All right, so got my title down there, and then I'm going to use this little sticker from Hello Forever, and it says click click. And then this one here is just, the colors look nice with it. It's just a random like square thing. So I just stuck it behind there. It's almost like a frame. And then I'm going to use some puffy stickers here from Twine and Ink, these little hearts. I'm going to use 2 on there. And then I'm going to add one more little camera sticker right above the quote there. And then I really, really like the way that looks. So I'm going to go ahead and stop here. That's all I got done that morning. So I'm going to go ahead and put everything into my album, and I'll show you here in just a second. Do a tiny, tiny flip through so you can see what I've gotten done so far. But I'm really enjoying it, and I hope you guys are too. I'll be back again soon with some more. Have a great day. Bye.